Hey there, vintage car enthusiasts. We're taking a bit of a detour on Vintage Car Chronicles today. Yeah, for a deep dive,
Okay.
just for our listeners, a deep dive into a brand that you might not think of as vintage,
Right.
but actually has a really fascinating history.
Yeah.
We're talking about the smart car.
The smart car.
Yes. And you might think, what's so special about this tiny little city car?
Yeah. It's
And known for being small.
It really does have a story that's kind of more winding than a mountain road.
absolutely full of unexpected twists and turns.
Yeah.
I mean,
Maybe even a few parallels
Yeah.
to the vintage beauties
To the vintage beauties that you love.
that we talk about on the show.
Exactly. And for a car that's practically synonymous with small,
Right.
its origins are surprisingly grand.
Oh, yeah.
Who knew that a watch company almost launched a car brand?
It's true.
We're talking about Swatch,
Good.
the masters of, vibrant and playful timepiece.
Yeah, that's right. It all started with Nicholas Hayek, the mastermind behind Swatch.
Okay.
Back in the 80s, Hayek envisioned a small, stylish, eco-friendly car,
Hold on.
the Swatchmobile.
The Swatch guy wanted to build a car. That's like a shoemaker designing a spaceship.
Yeah, it does seem
It just seems
a little out of left field.
it's out of left field.
And his initial partnership was with Volkswagen, which,
Okay.
seems like kind of a natural fit.
Yeah, Volkswagen small cars.
Right. They had the Beetle, the
Like the
ultimate
classic combo.
people's car.
Yeah. So what happened? Why didn't it work out?
Well, their visions clashed.
Okay.
Volkswagen was already developing its own fuel-efficient car, the Lupo,
Uh-huh.
a four-seater, and they just didn't see the market for Hayek's two-seater concept.
So Hayek's vision was essentially too small for Volkswagen.
Yeah, exactly.
That's ironic.
It is a little bit ironic considering what the smart car became,
Yeah.
but Hayek didn't give up.
Okay.
He took his Swatchmobile idea to other manufacturers, faced rejection along the way, and then, in a surprising twist, Daimler-Benz, the company behind Mercedes-Benz.
Wait, Daimler-Benz?
Yeah.
That's a huge jump from a watch company and Volkswagen.
I know, right?
What did they see in this tiny car concept?
It's a fascinating question.
Yeah.
Perhaps they saw an opportunity to tap into a new market to create a city car that was both stylish and practical.
Okay.
And to be honest, Daimler-Benz probably had the resources that Swatch
Yeah.
and even Volkswagen lacked at the time to bring this unconventional vision to life.
It's like a quirky indie band suddenly getting signed by a major record label.
Yeah.
They must have had big plans for this Swatchmobile.
They did. In 1994, the joint venture called Micro Compact Car AG, or MCC, was born with the mission to make Hayek's dream a reality.
Wow.
They went all in, building a dedicated factory in Hambach, France, a place that would soon be nicknamed Smartville.
Smartville. It sounds like something out of a futuristic comic book.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, this wasn't just any ordinary car factory, was it?
Not at all. It was designed around a revolutionary modular assembly process.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Imagine this: suppliers built entire modules of the car, like the seats, chassis,
Uh-huh.
you name it, and delivered them ready to be assembled at Smartville.
So instead of building a car piece by piece, it was more like assembling it from prefabricated sections.
Exactly.
That's like building with giant Lego blocks, but for cars.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
This approach not only streamlined production, but also allowed Smart to share development costs with suppliers,
That's smart.
which was a brilliant strategy for a, startup car company.
Yeah.
In a way, it was a precursor to the kind of manufacturing innovation that companies like Tesla are known for today.
That's a great point. So it's like Smart was ahead of its time with this modular approach.
Yeah, I think so.
So they had the vision, the partnership, the innovative factory. What about the car itself?
Right.
When did the first smart car actually hit the road?
The first smart car, initially called the City Coupe, rolled off the assembly line in 1998. It was later renamed the Fortwo, the name we're all familiar with today.
Right.
But it wasn't exactly a smooth ride at first.
Oh, what happened? Did those first Fortwos have some teething problems?
You could say that.
Okay.
Early Fortwos actually had some stability issues.
Really?
They were prone to tipping over during sharp turns, especially during a test called the Moose Test.
The Moose Test.
Yeah,
It sounds like something out of a Scandinavian folktale.
it does.
What is that?
Well, it's a maneuver designed to simulate swerving to avoid a sudden obstacle like a moose in the road, hence the name.
Ah, okay.
Basically, you swerve one way, then quickly back the other way to simulate dodging something.
I see. I see.
Yeah.
And I can see how that could be a problem for a car as small as the Fortwo.
Yeah,
Were they able to fix it?
they had to.
Okay.
To pass the Moose test, they essentially made the car wider, heavier in the front, and less top-heavy.
Okay.
They also adjusted the steering and suspension. Think of it like fine-tuning a vintage car's handling to make it perform better on winding roads.
So they had to go back to the drawing board and tweak the design to make it safer.
Yeah.
It sounds like those early years were a real trial by fire for Smart.
Absolutely. They faced engineering challenges, skepticism from the automotive world, and financial struggles.
Wow.
In fact, those early financial hurdles led Daimler-Benz to buy out Swatch's shares in the company.
So the Swatch legacy faded away, and Smart became solely a Daimler-Benz venture.
That's right. In 1999, MCC became a wholly owned subsidiary of Daimler-Benz, and the Smart car story continued under their leadership.
So despite the rocky start,
Yeah,
they persevered.
they did.
It's a testament to their belief in the concept.
It is.
So what happened next? Did they stick with just the Fortwo, or did they try to expand their lineup?
Well, they actually tried to branch out,
Okay.
introducing a sporty roadster.
A Smart Roadster.
Yes.
That sounds fun.
It was designed to capture that classic roadster spirit,
Okay.
open-top, nimble, and fun to drive.
You like
They also had a limited edition crossblade with no roof, no doors, just a tiny windshield.
Wow.
And the 4.4 was their attempt to appeal to a wider audience with a more practical four-seat option.
It seems like they were testing the water, seeing if they could break free from that tiny city car image.
Yeah, they're trying to see what else they could do.
Did these new models take off?
Sadly, they didn't achieve the success they hoped for.
That-
Sales for the Roadster Crossblade and 4.4 were less than stellar.
So what happened to them? Did they get redesigned or relaunched?
Unfortunately, no. They were eventually discontinued. Smart had to make tough decisions and focus on their core product, the Fortwo.
So it was back to basics for the Smart brand, back to the car that started it all.
Back to the Fortwo.
Did the Fortwo at least evolve during this time?
Absolutely. While staying true to its original concept, the Fortwo underwent significant evolution across 3 generations.
Okay, let's dive into that. How did the Fortwo change and adapt over time? Were there any major design overhauls or interesting innovations?
Well, one of the defining features of the Fortwo is its unique Tridion Safety Cell.
Okay.
That's the exposed silver frame you see on smart cars.
Right.
It's not just a stylistic choice, it's a key structural element designed to protect occupants in a crash.
It's almost like they turned a safety feature into a design element.
Exactly.
It definitely gives the Fortwo a distinctive look.
Yeah, and throughout its evolution, the Fortwo saw changes to its engine options, from petrol and diesel to the introduction of all-electric models with the Smart Electric Drive.
Ah, the Smart Electric Drive.
Yes.
It seemed like a perfect fit for a city car.
It did.
Zippy efficient and emissions-free.
It's a good fit.
What other innovations did they explore during this time?
Well, they even experimented with unconventional sales approaches, like those quirky smart vending machines in China.
Wait, vending machines?
Yeah.
For cars, I'm picturing a giant gumball machine dispensing Fortwos.
It wasn't quite like that, but it was a unique way to showcase the car's small footprint and appeal to a tech-savvy audience.
So they were really thinking outside the box, trying to find new ways to market this unconventional car.
Yes.
It's fascinating how Smart has always been willing to push boundaries and try new things.
They've definitely been pioneers in many ways.
But like any car company, they've had their share of challenges along the way.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've covered the early years, the expansion attempts, and the evolution of the Fortwo.
Right.
What's the latest chapter in the Smart saga?
Well, in 2019, a significant shift occurred.
Oh.
Daimler partnered with Chinese automaker Geely to form a joint venture aiming to produce smart cars in China for the global market.
A Chinese partnership. That's a big change for a brand that was initially a European collaboration.
It is.
What prompted this move?
It reflects the changing dynamics of the global automotive industry. Partnerships and collaborations are becoming increasingly common,
I see.
and it signaled a new direction for the Smart brand.
Speaking of new directions, they've also moved beyond those tiny city cars, haven't they?
That's right.
That seems like a big departure from their original vision.
You're right. One of the first outcomes of this Geely partnership was the unveiling of the concept. #1, an electric SUV, showcasing Smart's ambition to move beyond its microcar roots.
An SUV.
Yes,
That's quite a leap from the Fortwo.
it is.
Talk about a growth spurt.
It's a bold move, but it reflects the growing demand for electric SUVs worldwide, and Smart clearly aims to be a part of that market.
So they're evolving with the times, embracing the electric revolution and venturing into new territory.
Yes.
It's remarkable how far they've come from that initial vision of a tiny city car.
It is, and this new chapter raises some intriguing questions about Smart's identity and future.
Yeah.
Can they maintain their unique spirit while appealing to a broader audience?
That's a great question, and it leads us perfectly into the next part of our deep dive, where we'll explore some of the controversies and criticisms surrounding the smart car, as well as its unexpected ventures beyond the automotive world.
Yeah, stay tuned because things are about to get even more interesting.
All right, we'll be right back after a quick break.
You know, for a car that's designed to navigate tight city streets, the Smart Fortwo has generated a surprising amount of controversy over the years.
It seems like any time a car breaks the mold, especially in terms of size, it's bound to raise eyebrows and spark debate. Was it mainly about safety concerns, given how small a Fortwo is?
Safety has definitely been a recurring topic of discussion.
Yeah.
It's hard to ignore the size difference when you see a Fortwo next to a hulking SUV or truck.
Yeah, it's like David versus Goliath on the road.
Yeah.
But Smart has always emphasized that Tridion Safety Cell as a protective cocoon. Did that design element actually hold up in real-world tests?
It's a mixed bag. On the one hand, the Fortwo has consistently earned good ratings in side impact tests. The Tridion cell does seem to provide a robust protective cage around the occupants in those scenarios.
So in a side collision, that exposed metal frame actually works in its favor.
It seems to. It's like a roll cage in a race car, but integrated into the car's design. And Smart has continuously improved safety features over the years, adding airbags and electronic stability control as standard.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
But you said it was a mixed bag?
Yeah.
What were the downsides?
Well, frontal offset crash tests, especially those simulating collisions with larger vehicles, have been more problematic for the Fortwo. There's just not as much crumple zone to absorb the impact in a head-on collision.
So the very thing that makes it nimble in the city, its small size, works against it in certain cracked scenarios.
Unfortunately, yes.
Right.
The physics are just unforgiving in those situations. But to be fair to Smart, they've been transparent about the crash test results and have worked to mitigate risks as much as possible.
Transparency is crucial, especially when it comes to safety.
Yeah?
But size wasn't the only source of controversy for Smart, was it?
No.
I remember something about a copycat car from China.
Ah, yes. The Shuanghua Noble, a Chinese-made car that bore a striking resemblance to the Fortwo, it sparked a major legal battle over intellectual property rights.
It's like a tale of two cities, a European original and its Chinese doppelganger. What was the outcome of this international automotive showdown?
It was a complex case.
Okay.
Daimler, the parent company of Smart, sued Shuanghua for copyright infringement. Initially, they succeeded in blocking the Noble from being exhibited at an Italian motor show.
So a victory for Smart this way.
Well, not so fast.
Uh-oh.
The importer defied the injunction and displayed the car anyway.
Wow.
And later, a Greek judge actually ruled in favor of Shuanghua, allowing the Noble to be sold in Greece.
Wait, so the Chinese copycat won in Greece. What was the reasoning behind that decision?
The Greek judge argued that the technical differences between the cars, such as the engine placement and drivetrain layout, outweighed the external similarities. It was a reminder that legal battles over car designs can get very tricky, especially when crossing international borders.
It sounds like a case for Sherlock Holmes, but with car parts instead of clues. It definitely highlights the challenges of protecting intellectual property in the global automotive market. Speaking of unexpected turns, I heard that the Smart Roadster, the one that was discontinued, actually made a comeback of sorts. Not on the road, but on the big screen.
That's right. The Smart Roadster had a starring role in the 2010 action comedy Night and Day, featuring Tom Cruise and Cameron Diaz.
No way. So the little roadster that couldn't make it in the real world found its moment of glory in Hollywood.
Yeah.
What was the scene like?
It was a thrilling chase scene, and these weren't just any roadsters. Some were specially modified for the film, with some even sporting motorcycle engines for extra power.
Motorcycle engines in Smart Roadsters. That's crazy. Did they actually use those souped-up cars in the filming?
They did. Those little roadsters were zipping and dodging all over the place, showcasing their agility and adding a touch of unexpected coolness to the scene. It was a fitting send-off for a car that, despite its flaws, had a certain undeniable charm and spirit.
It's like the underdog car that became a movie star. It's amazing how the smart car has managed to weave itself into popular culture in unexpected ways.
It really has.
So from safety debates and copycat controversies to a Hollywood action sequence, the smart car has certainly had its share of ups and downs.
Absolutely. It's been a wild ride full of innovation, challenges, and unexpected twists. And now, with its foray into the electric SUV market, it seems like Smart is poised for yet another chapter in its already fascinating story.
It makes you wonder, can a brand known for tiny, quirky city cars successfully reinvent itself for a new era of electric vehicles?
That's the question we'll explore next as we delve into the future of the smart car brand and its ambitious plans to navigate the evolving landscape of the automotive world.
Yeah, it really makes you think how far the smart car has come. From its humble beginnings
Right.
as a watchmaker's dream.
It's amazing.
And now with their EV focus and Geely partnership, they're entering a whole new era.
It's a fascinating transition going from a niche city car brand to a potential player in the global EV market. They're holding on to their signature design elements like the Tridion Safety Cell, but also evolving to meet new demands like with their venture into the SUV segment.
It begs the question, can they keep their unique identity while broadening their appeal? Can a brand known for tiny cars successfully make the leap to larger vehicles?
That's the challenge. Smart has always been about innovation and challenging norms.
Right.
But their success was often tied to urban environments where small size and maneuverability were key advantages.
You're right. The Fortwo was practically designed for weaving through European streets and squeezing into impossible parking spots.
Exactly.
It's hard to picture it cruising down a wide-open highway.
Yeah, so as they move into the SUV market, they'll need to find new ways to differentiate themselves.
Right.
They can't just rely on their quirky, compact image anymore.
So what's their strategy? How are they positioning themselves in this new landscape?
Well, the concept #1 provides some clues.
Okay.
It's all electric, of course, essential in today's market. But it also emphasizes technology, connectivity, and a spacious, premium interior.
So they're aiming for a more upscale, tech-savvy audience, trying to appeal to buyers who want style, eco-friendliness, and the latest gadgets.
That seems to be the direction.
Yeah.
They're not abandoning their core values of innovation and efficiency, but adapting them to a different segment of the market.
It's a bold move, but taking risks is in Smart's DNA.
It is, and they've proven they can adapt.
Yeah.
Remember their successful transition of the Fortwo to an all-electric model.
Right. The Smart Electric Drive showed they could create a compelling EV even within their signature tiny car format.
Exactly. So they have the experience and know-how to create larger electric vehicles. The key will be convincing consumers that Smart can be more than just a city car brand.
It's going to be fascinating to watch this unfold. Can they capture that Smart essence, the innovation, the style, the fun, and translate it to a new generation of vehicles?
That's the million-dollar question. Only time will tell if they can pull it off.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, haven't we? From the birth of the Swatchmobile to the rise and evolution of the Fortwo, and now Smart's ambitious leap into electric SUVs.
We have.
It's been an incredible journey through the world of a truly unique car brand.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that the automotive world is always evolving. Companies like Smart, with their willingness to innovate and adapt, are shaping the future of mobility.
And who knows, maybe someday those tiny smart cars zipping around cities today will be considered vintage classics, just like the cars we usually feature on Vintage Car Chronicles.
You never know. That's an intriguing thought. Maybe a future episode could explore the legacy of the smart car and its impact on urban transportation.
Now that would be a deep dive worth taking. But for now, we want to thank you, our loyal Vintage Car Chronicles listeners, for joining us on this exploration of the smart car story. We hope you enjoyed this detour from our usual vintage fare.
We did! And don't forget, a new episode of Vintage Car Chronicles comes out every day. So be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more automotive adventures.
See you next time.